Islam, Shalom, Hola, Aloha, Osio, Bonjour, Assalamu Alaikum. This is your brother Zach Day, Indigenous American Moor. Do you have questions about claiming your nationality? Are you confused or hesitant on how to get started or where to get started? Resources on what to study? Questions and answers? Maybe even a question on where to purchase an authentic fez. Help me help you. Book your session below. Use keywords Moorish nationality. Islam, Shalom, Hola, Aloha, Bonjour, Assalamu Alaikum, Osio. This is your brother Zach Day, Indigenous American Moor, coming to you live in full effect. Like, share, subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell down below so you can be notified whenever I'm dropping new content. Leave a comment, interact with me. Thank you. I really do appreciate your viewership. Let's jump into another one. Today I want to speak a little bit about a proverb that I've heard, or a wise quote from the ancestors or the elders that you may have heard before. The way that quote goes is, one must be a lion to keep the wolves at bay, and a fox to avoid the snakes and the traps that lay. I've never forgotten that proverb or those wise words, because it really resonated with me. It took me a little while to get a understanding or understanding of that personally, but over time I feel that those words ring true more and more and more. So the way I've come to incorporate that into the way I live and to take heed to those wise words is, a lion is normally a symbol of strength, of power, of nobility, even royalty, right? The way it's on Haile Selassie, the crown lion, the way it's on the flag of Jamaica, the crown lion, right? The royal house of the current Moroccan kingdom over there, they also have lions. So I want to show in this video, I'm going to show some videos, and I'm also going to show a little bit how when the ancestors and the ancients spoke, they spoke on things they've seen, all right? They spoke on what they observed with their eyes. So the indigenous people in this land would speak about lions, they would speak about bison, they would speak about elk, deer, foxes, falcons, hawks, eagles, it has been a long time since lions have been on this side of the continent, besides, pumas or like mountain lions, right? But there is an extinct species, or to this day known as an extinct species, of the American lion, fam. So there's ancient pictures of this lion, and also we could even say that the Barbary lion, which has recently become extinct as well, or it just has not been seen in a very long time. It could still be incredibly rare and surviving in small numbers in the wild. But the Barbary lion was also known to be in northwest, the part of the continent of Africa, around Morocco, Mauritania, all the way to Egypt in those mountain ranges, all right? So if you know, Pangea used to connect that side of the continent of Africa to the east coast of the Americas, right? So just combine those two, and you can see how the mountain ranges there could have in the ancient past connected to the mountain ranges over here. So those Barbary lions could have also been in the ancient past over on the east coast, just like the fossil records show that the American lion was over on the west coast toward, like, I want to say Washington State, California, all the way down to through Mexico and the Central American area over there. I believe they're all the way down to Peru, the research said. But the ancestors will speak on the traits of animals that they saw. So if the ancestors said one must be a lion, they're speaking on the characteristics of that lion that they saw here. And if they're speaking on the fox, the red fox in particular, they're speaking on the characteristics of that animal that they seen here. Being a lion represents strength. It represents power. It represents the ability to keep your enemies at bay. The male lion was always considered a symbol of strength and power. The lions with the larger manes and the darker manes are known to be the more dominant and the stronger males over the ones with a lighter color mane, more brown, orange, yellow, or gray, silver. All right. So the black mane was always the more dominant, stronger lions. When they would speak on the characteristics of a fox, foxes are known to be very, very clever, also wise or even tricksters. Those who may be fans of Naruto, the nine-tailed fox, all right? They say that they couldn't trust the nine-tailed fox because it's, it was like a trickster, that it couldn't be trusted. Those are characteristics known for a fox. Foxes are very clever. They can avoid traps easily. They even have a bit of a canine and also a feline sense, all right? It's kind of like they have some feline traits and some canine traits. It seems to be like a perfectly balanced within those traits. So foxes can easily see hunters' traps or often have different ways of escaping traps or snares. Fox dens normally have more than one entrance and exit, all right? It could be maybe three, one entrance, and then there's an exit in the back, and then there's like a side exit as well, but those characteristics together, a lion to know when to fight and to stand and to guard, and to be able to take the brunt of whatever assault is coming toward you and don't back down and cower and run away. And a fox, in order to see the traps and the snares that a lion might be too strong or head might be too high in the clouds to see a simple trap that's laid directly below the lion's feet. And also, a lion may not see the snake or the serpent that lies and waits in the hole or in the grass. All right. When a fox is smaller and is lower to the ground, and it will easily see a serpent or a snake, or even go into the hole of a serpent or a snake in order to eat it, right? To make a meal of it. All right. So the way how foxes are clever and the way how lions are strong and bold, you need both of those characteristics to operate out here in the world. All right. And the wolves inside of that parable are your assailants, ones who want to conquer you, want to capture you, want to control you, or want to kill you, fam. Wolves are only strong together in packs, in numbers. They'll never challenge you alone. The lone wolf normally dies alone, normally starves, normally lives off of scraps. Wolves are stronger in numbers, in packs, fam. So what enemy have we historically faced against that roams in packs, move around hungry and ravenous like dogs, fam? Come on. They're telling us right there within this small parable. All right, I don't want to go too far into it. I want to show some videos, and then we're going to come back with some more commentary, all right?
Hex, the American lion, also known as the California lion, also known as Panthera leo atrox. This is the American lion, which once roamed from Alaska down clear into Peru. A lot of people don't know this, but This lion was twice as big as the African lion. This lion was very active from the Pliocene up until actually the 1970s, believe it or not. So they found fossilized bones in Livermore, California, but they also hunted this animal in the late 1800s and clear into 1970s here in Coyote Hills, Fremont, California. So if you want to look that up, it is there. The American lion was amongst us, and in some cases they say it's up until 1996 they were still sighting lions, maned lions in the homelands, in the lands of our people on Turtle Island. Pay attention, people. It's going down. Even the Mayans have this knowledge. The Mayans have statues of lions. The Aztecs have codices of lions.
This is a painting of some Americans. Yes, that's a lion. Now somebody tried to tell me, oh, ha ha ha, there's no lions in America, you know what I'm saying, because they were African. This comes from a book that shows different continents, all 4 continents at the time, and they were done in the 16th and 17th century in Germany, and all of these paintings were done within that time frame. You can find them in this book. Just Google Allegory of the Continents, 16th and 17th. You ain't even got to put all that. Just the top part. It'll come right up. Number 1, there's 2 volumes. But I want to just go really quick here to the History of Hernando de Soto book that I'm still reading, 1512 to 1568. And right here, he talks about they sometimes have them also of cats, deers, stags, bears, lions, and even cow skins. What is he talking about? Their cloak is a kind of cover which hangs from the neck to the middle of the leg. It is ordinarily of fine marten skins and smells of a very agreeable musk odor. They sometimes have them also of cats, deers, stags, bears, lions, and even cow skins, in which they prepare so well, blah, 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 okay? Which they can use them as a cloth, I should say that. So that's not a stretch. That actually means that these people were really correct when they came over. So this book is a book of German painters who were sent out in these expeditions or voyages, and they would go and see what they can see, and then they would come back and they would paint what they saw. And they painted these things inside of either structures like big cathedrals or whatever, but they depict America, Africa, Europe, and Asia. And they depict all the inhabitants, and they make very clear distinctions. And these people are always depicted this way. So I love when I see eyewitness accounts from other people, the Spaniards in this particular case, which helps to bring more truth to everything else. So y'all know they be playing.
Fucking animals in the whole world are just killed to kill. Everything else kills to eat. You know what I'm saying? If a lion eats, you can walk right by a lion. He's not going to just kill you just to kill you. He only kills when he's hungry to eat or be protecting his family. They don't just kill to kill. We fucking as human beings just kill motherfuckers for money, for not like to sustain life, not necessities. This shit is backwards, bro. And I'm one of them people to sit around and just watch shit, but I gotta be vocal about shit. That's why when I'm like, y'all gonna give me a voice, I gotta say some real shit. I have to. I'm not gonna be one of the people to just sit around and just act like I don't see all this shit that's going on. And a lot of these men are cowards, bro. You can't have a revolution with a bunch of cowards, bro. It's not gonna work. So as far as us looking for like a revolution and people to step up, it ain't gonna work in this generation because these men who are in position to be leaders are cowards, bro. They don't want to lose their spot. They gonna kiss ass. They gonna be like, nah, I'm on TV. I got some fame. I got some money. I'm not taking a stand. That's why I respect Boosie a lot, bro. I respect Boosie. And you gotta respect a man to stand his ground. And knowing he's gonna get blackballed. People gonna throw stones at him. He gonna lose endorsements. You gonna lose shit. Even that whole thing that happened with the baby. I'm like, he didn't say nothing that crazy for them to lose. You know what I'm saying? He didn't say nothing that over the top. But look how much money he lost. Look how they all attacked him and did it. I'm like, damn, bro. And nobody stood, only a few people stood with him.
What would you saying about people who play sports?
When it comes to sports, a lot of the people, as far as like being 6'9", 7 feet tall, being muscular bound, those are supposed to be the protectors of our reality. They're not supposed to be playing sports because by way of the restoration of the matriarch, you're supposed to cultivate the energy and protect the woman by way of the woman ruling through the man. So you got to be a protector. So we're not supposed to be playing sports. And if you have a certain energy to you, as far as like you being 7 feet tall, those are the protectors of planet Earth. You're not supposed to be in the NBA, NFL, and none of that stuff.
Sports is basically like here to take the warriors off their purpose.
Yeah, because like I said, it's part of the Metatronic overlay. The Metatronic overlay is a three-dimensional construct that basically keeps you in a place of distraction. So sports is a mechanism to basically distract the true warriors of planet Earth.
Whoa.
So like I said, the 7 foot tall guys, the guys that's like 400 or 500 pounds, those are supposed to be the protectors of planet Earth.
Wow.
Absolutely. When you're over 6 foot tall, that means you are a natural leader. You, even if you're not leading from your voice, you could be leading by your presence. So this is why people look up to you, because you're supposed to be that person that people look up to as that leader. You know what I mean?
I never looked at it. So people who are short, they have different purposes.
Short people, they have to go through a lesson to be that power from within without their physical.
Okay.
I don't care what no one says. It still boggles my mind that we had to fight for fucking everything. Had to fight for our hair to be worn out. Had to fight to play hockey, basketball, baseball, football, wrestling, tennis. Had to fight to get married. Had to fight to vote. Had to fight to sit anywhere we wanted on a bus. Had to fight to go into a restaurant. Had to fight to drink out of any water faucet. Had to fight to go to college. Had to fight to get equal pay. Had to fight to get acting roles. Had to fight to get our music on the radio. Had to fight to get into Congress. Had to fight in the military. Had to fight to own a farm. Had to fight to own a business. Had to fight to become a doctor or become a lawyer. Had to fight to become a CEO. Had to fight to live in certain neighborhoods. Had to fight to desegregate the schools. We had to fight to get them to stop hanging us from trees. We had to fight to get on a jury. We had to fight to own property. Had to fight to get a bank account. Had to fight to get paid family leave equally to our white counterparts. Had to fight to get scholarships. Had to fight to get any kind of African American history in textbooks for public schools. We had to fight to get clean water in black communities. Clean water. We had to fight to get protection from forced sterilization. We have fought for everything we have gotten. And I mean everything. So where do people get off thinking that we could possibly be lazy?
Listen, when the elders tap us because they no longer have the energy, but they have the wisdom, we need to be ready to get in the ring. Y'all don't even live around here. I tell them people, this is another prime example of poverty pimping. I said, you know what happens when people realize that they can profit from the pain of black people? They create nonprofit organizations. They create religious organizations, churches, pastors. I said, we are always sold to the highest bidder. Even if it's our own that's sitting at the table selling us out piece by piece. That's why I go so hard at these damn politicians and pastors. Because 90% of the time, they are the ones selling us off piece by piece. The ones that look like us. The way the people in that room was amen. And that's right. That's right. And I'm talking about the elders. People in there that said they've been doing this work for 30 years and they still fighting for funding. I said, let me tell y'all something. It's because they are not coming here to eradicate anything. You think they want to get rid of crime? Crime pays. Crime pays. At the end of the day, it might not pay us, but it pay judges, it pay lawyers, it pay coroners, it pay doctors. You hear me? It pay policemen. It pays everybody but us. We are the ones that catch, we are the stock to them. I say, I want y'all to do me a favor, and I want y'all to think about all of these large churches and these nonprofit organizations and these healthcare systems. I want you to think about them, and then I want you to think about who is actually at the top of the food chain in many of these spaces, because it ain't us. I said, you know why? We are here because we are always the face of their businesses. Because at the end of the day, the church is a business. the nonprofit sector is a business. They just buying up land and shit, talking about they doing housing and interventions and drug abuse, recovery and all of that shit. And all of them people, when you look at them, they don't look like us. And they have people like us as the front-facing people who go out into the community. I said, y'all ain't getting no higher than street intervention. Because to them, we need to be on the street talking to the people and bringing them in the doors. Everything is about numbers. Everything is about numbers. When I got through ripping them folks up in there, and it wasn't even disrespectful, that man said, that's hard to come after. I know it is. And when I looked over and I saw them older people that trusted me to speak up for them, nodding and saying thank you, I knew my job was done. My job was done for the day. But I got something else for their ass. Happy.
Right? That last sister, she finished off strong, yo. Like, I really like how she was speaking that, how she's saying when the ancestors or when the elders tap us, it's our turn up. Like, we up next. They waiting on us, fam. It was like, we the ones who gotta put that work in now. You know what I'm saying? It's our time. So, I definitely appreciate, you know what I'm saying, those wise words of how she was saying how poverty and crime pays, and there's a lot of people eating off us. The nonprofit organizations, church institutions, 501c3s, like how she said, judges, police, attorneys, court clerks, you know what I'm saying, insurance companies, like the medical industry. Those all that I just named are the wolves that we have to keep at bay. Those are the wolves that are after us, and we have to be the lions, fam. They are the wolves, all right? They are the ones who are laying the traps. They are the snakes, you know what I'm saying? So we have to be a lion and we have to be a fox in order to evade, keep them at bay, overcome, destroy, conquer. You know what I'm saying? Like, we have to have this. It's our time. The one brother who was speaking on how the NBA and the NFL is like a trap. I spoke about that in one of my other videos, how I said the NFL, the NBA, those are intentionally placed there. Those organizations are intentionally placed there to take the wealth from our community and to take the warriors from our community, fam. Imagine, like, just like he said, imagine if we had an army of 7 foot plus people, like all the huge muscle bound dudes who are in the NFL, who are in the NBA. Imagine if they were our protectors. Imagine if they were our army, fam. Imagine that. Be like unstoppable. He said those guys who grow that big, they're meant to be the protectors of the realm. They're supposed to be the protectors of our plane of existence, fam. And they have fallen into the trap, and they have been taken away to the NFL, the NBA. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it couldn't be any more clear than that. I felt like I had that type of spiritual awakening when I was younger. I saw that. It was like, why do so many of my friends want to go to like the NFL, the NBA and stuff like that? Like, I never saw that as a viable option. But hey, it's not for everybody to see those traps, but each one teach one. When you know better, you do better. So that's why I'm out here trying to perpetuate this information and this knowledge and keep it pushing toward the future. So anybody who's younger than me who might not have this information, anybody who's older than me who might not have this information. But I don't want to make this video too long, so I have some more videos to check out, and these videos are going to be more toward the lines of traps that are being laid, traps that are being laid, and serpents that are waiting to strike, and that we have to be a fox in order to avoid these traps and these snares. All right,
The earlier you start using cosmetic products, the higher your chance of coming down with breast cancer.
So black women are at the highest risk of getting breast cancer under the age of 40.
Yes.
Beauty and hair products marketed to black women often contain the most toxic ingredients.
That is known as environmental injustice. So that's one of the, I would say, the most tragic circumstances that we're facing as a society, is that the people who are exposed to the most amount of toxins are low-income people and people in ethnic groups. And so some of these products that are marketed specifically to black girls contain some of the worst ingredients I have ever seen. The fragrances, the endocrine disruptors, these harsh detergents, some formaldehyde releasers. Formaldehyde's a human carcinogen. What place does it have in a beauty and personal care product? It doesn't. It needs to be removed. There needs to be better regulations and better protection for vulnerable populations.
50% of products advertised to black women contain endocrine disruptors, which are those disruptors that are going to impact their hormones, increase their chance of things like cancer, infertility, etc., compared to roughly 7% that are advertised to white women.
That's really the problem, is why is it more prevalent for those populations than others? And I think this is an ongoing societal issue of environmental racism.
Are people aware of this?
I think the vast majority of people are entirely unaware of this, and studies show it, because there are studies showing that the earlier you start using cosmetic products, the higher your chance of coming down with breast cancer. And the people who had the highest prevalence were African American females.
The biggest drug that they found in tap water, do you know what it is?
Fluoride.
Birth control.
What?
Birth control is the highest toxic compound found in tap water.
Wow.
So boys are consuming this. You got to think about testosterone dumping. Of course, because you're getting estrogen. You're getting birth control. You know what I'm saying? Like, no wonder our hormones are all jacked up.
Yeah, you're showering in it, you're drinking it, it's
Yeah.
in your food, it's in your bread,
Yes.
pasta.
And pasta and
everywhere.
everything. And everything.
Even your fruits, they're watering it.
Yes, fruits and everything.
Vegetables.
I mean, you can't even drink a bottle of water in plastic because of the nanoplastics and the microplastics.
Crazy.
It's just, you know, they're setting us up for failure.
What I'm gonna have you do, right? I'm
trying. Now, you see I try.
How your cell phone drains your energy out of your body. All right. So what I want you to do, I want you to hold your arms out like this, straight out in front of you, just like this. Don't let me push your arms down. Don't let me push them down. All right. Be tight. Don't let me push them down. And look how big his arms is. All right. Now, I want you to hold your cell phone. Do this again, and don't let me push your arms down. All right. All right, now, watch this. Now, put your phone in your pocket. Do it again. Don't let me push your arms down. Be tight with it. Now, watch this.
Now
Take
give me your phone.
And put it back right
Yep.
there. Now do it again. Don't let me push it down. Ain't that crazy? Ain't that crazy?
Go to a gas station. You think I'm crazy, right? But that's petrochemicals. That's petroleum.
And that's in a lot of the
and that's in all of the medicine.
Yeah.
All the medicine is petroleum based. And once you introduce a foreign substance like petroleum to the human body will reject that because it doesn't assimilate, and the body is so advanced that it will not let that enter it. But what you're doing by taking these prescription medication, you're disrupting your nervous system. So you're introducing stress to your nervous system. And we know once you introduce any type of stress, physical stress, dietary stress, emotional stress, you're gonna start to see the manifestations of diseases.
We have a 120-year petroleum-based infrastructure. Our whole lives depend on it. And hell, it's in everything. That road we came in on, the wheels on every car ever made, including yours. It's in tennis rackets, lipstick, and refrigerators, and antihistamines, pretty much anything plastic. Your cell phone case, artificial heart valves, any kind of clothing that's not made with animal or plant fibers, soap, and hand lotion, garbage bags, fishing boats, you name it. Every fucking thing.
every black artist or every black actor gets to a certain point, gets taken out. Whether it's Michael or Crosby or R. Kelly or Prince, they all either die under mysterious circumstances.
Nipsey.
Or they become troubled and die of an overdose or some medication, or they get done for some sex crimes or whatever. I mean, in R. Kelly's case, every single one of those children were basically sold to him, allegedly, sold to him by their parents. You know? And this is, you know, we'll talk, yeah, maybe that's a conversation for another day, but you know, like, there's so much of that in the entertainment industry. But there are no prosecutions of white artists. There are no prosecutions of country artists. Nobody. Madonna's never got in trouble for her 16-year-old boyfriend.
Yeah, why haven't we got Eminem yet?
No, where's Eminem? Where's Eminem? Could it have anything to do with this?
Country stars we're thinking of.
Well, Eminem. Yeah, country star. Okay, yeah. I'll tell you after the show. No, I mean, Eminem woke up one day an angry lesbian, and with very left-wing politics. I wonder why that might have been. Who knows? Who can say? But it's only ever black artists who get their reputations absolutely ripped to shreds in public, get accused of the worst thing that a person can be accused of, right? And always when they get a little bit too big for their boots, a little bit too outspoken, a little bit too edgy, or a little bit too quote-unquote uncontrollable, when they won't take their meds, when they won't do as they're told, when they won't shut up about Israel, when they won't shut up about contracts, when they won't do as the establishment and as the architecture, the machinery of the industry wants them to do, suddenly they're guilty of underage sex with kids, people trafficking, all the rest of it. Well, I mean, maybe the truth is that the whole industry does it. Maybe the truth is that nobody does it, probably closer to the first one. But these selective prosecutions, I'm not a big like civil rights, let's defend black people for the sake of it guy. You know, I don't even really care for the music that much. I like Ye as a singular instance because he's an artist in a slightly different league and a different caliber than the rest of them. I don't really listen to the music from the rest of that genre, to be honest with you. But even I cannot deny that the prosecutions are targeted, selective, and gruesomely unfair in the way that they are played out in public, and the manner in which the juries are tainted and poisoned beforehand. But you know, this guy's like on trial, and Netflix decides that. I mean, come on.
They murdered Michael Jackson.
100%.
And they murdered Someone gave Prince fentanyl.
They murdered Michael Jackson after he started talking about Jews. And I'm not going to say that what he said about them was right or wrong or whatever, but it is a fact of history that, first of all, they released the recordings of a phone call where he was complaining about Jews in some not very pleasant language. And I think he had a similar problem with Jewish people that sort of universalized to Jewish people in general, which
that was very, very important. And there's a real effect to that. And then in 2018 came the NYPD 12. That's myself and the 11 others, you know, with our lawsuit, Raymond versus the City of New York. But most importantly, we dropped a very important documentary called Crime and Punishment. When Crime and Punishment came out, in less than 2 weeks, the police department put out an internal memo saying that quotas are illegal and anyone caught engaging in quotas will be reprimanded. That right there empowered officers to push back when they're being pressured for numbers. And when you put all that together, we go from, you know, nearly 700,000 stop and frisk in 2011 to less than 50,000 in 2014. We go from a plethora of 400,000 arrests to 150,000. We go from 500,000 summonses to about 20,000 summonses. So that is a lot of people that would have been affected by negative police encounters that never saw it. It never came for them. So we have had victories. And think about it. The more we have these so-called small incidents with cops, eventually it comes into alignment and we get an Eric Garner. When you pay attention, we've had issues with shootings with NYPD, but a lot of the issues we've had before has been mitigated. But it doesn't mean the work is done. There's still work to go. You know, there's still more work to do. But sadly, shamefully, under this current administration, Eric Adams, we see everything going back in the wrong direction. All of a sudden, arrests are up again for minor things. All of a sudden, officers are pressured again. Many officers reach out to me, however they can find me, and they tell me what's going on in their precincts. And it all comes down to the same thing. they're trying to bring back the quotas. You know, so we have to stay on top of it, because honestly, it's rarely something that people speak about. You know, they assume that the police are autonomous, and the reason why they're behaving the way that they are is because that's who they want to be. And there are individuals where that's the case. But from my observation, it's the pressure coming from above that's more integral to that behavior than the individual officer.
There's a picture in the museum in the Louvre. I don't know how many of you have ever been there. The picture is called Checkmate. The devil's sitting on this side. There's a chessboard, and there's a guy sitting on the other side. And the guy sitting on the other side has his hand on his head like this. And he's like in desperation. And as they were taking a tour through the Louvre, there had been a group of athletes, and particularly world champions, that were being given a special tour. And in the tour was the world chess champion. And he comes walking by the picture, and the guy's explaining to him, this is a picture of an artist's rendering of somebody who lost the battle with the devil. And so the group moved on to the next picture to see something else. But the world chess champion, he stayed there, and he just kept looking at the picture. And soon they noticed that he was not with the group. And so the tour guide came back and said, we've moved on. Are you coming? He said, well, I've been looking at this picture. And the guy said, yeah. He said, it's called Checkmate. The devil's laughing, the man's lost. And he said, yeah. He said, I've been noticing that. He said, but while I've been standing here, I've kept looking at the picture. I got a problem. And he said, well, what do you mean? He said, well, you know, I'm a world champion chess player, and I spend my life playing chess. And normal people don't always see what a world champion chess player sees. He says, but when y'all walked off, I looked at the devil laughing, and I looked at the man in desperation. But he said, I noticed something on the chessboard. He said, either they're going to have to change the painting, or they're going to have to change the name. And the guy said, well, why are they going to have to do that? He said, well, you know, I'm a world champion chess player. Yeah. And he said, when I observed the board, I found out the king still has one more move. I come to tell somebody today, you believe you've been cornered. You believe everything is gone and nothing has got any hope. But the king still has one more move. I dare you to declare it. The king has one more move. He has one more move over my finances. He has one more move over my marriage. He has one more move over my kids. It is not all.
Right? I really hope you enjoyed those videos, and hopefully those will help you realize and bring to your awareness some of the traps, some of the snares, all right, some of the pit vipers that lay in wait for us as a people, and how we're out here operating and we're moving. All right, the ancestors and the elders gave us these lessons, gave us some of these proverbs so we can function and move out here, fam. It's like a divine intervention sometimes. So I don't want to make this video too long, and before I leave you, I want to talk quickly about totems. All right, what is a totem? Totems are normally spoken about as like poles or a symbol of some sort, right? So here in America, all right, the indigenous people will use animal totems. All right, there's a misconception that the animals at the bottom of the totem pole are weaker than the ones at the top of the totem pole. That's not the way it is. All the animals on the totem pole are sacred. None are less important than the other. But the way totem poles are normally set up is the more powerful creatures or animals are on the bottom, all right? The more powerful spirits, all right? physical strength or speed, all right, endurance. Bison, horse, bear, all right, lion. And toward the top of the totem pole are the wiser creatures, all right? It normally has a falcon, an eagle, an owl, all right? Normally the wiser creatures and ones with wings, all right? Toward the center of the totem pole might be other attributes that embody said honors, as like the serpent or the deer, all right, the fox, all right. So many different animals can go on the totem poles, and they're more so like spirit animals or guides, or even characteristics of a person or honored elder that are embodied within said totem, right? So I just wanted to bring that home for you to put a little more knowledge out there, somewhat on the lighter note, and just to bring some awareness about totems and some of the animals that I like to speak of that might hold some sort of meaning or omens for the ancestors, all right? We also have to gatekeep our culture. That's one of the main things that we have to do as a people nowadays. We have to gatekeep our culture. I'm so tired of people saying that so-called Black Americans don't have culture, fam. We have the culture. We are the culture. We are the mothers and fathers of civilization on this planet. So no matter what, we have to gatekeep our culture, all right? Once again, this is your brother Zach Bay, Indigenous American Moor. Thank you for joining me. Peace.